Okay, everybody, here's your warm up today. I want you to think of some nursery rhymes, bedtime stories, things of this nature. We will see what we can do with that, okay? All right. Can I get you guys back up here in five, four, three, two, one? Now, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to come back to this because believe it or not, this warm up is absolutely crucial to our learning goals today. Without this warm up, we could not accomplish our learning goals today at all. So we're going to make sure we keep that in mind as we get going with our day. It is the 82nd day of school. Did you guys know that 82 games are what are in a whole NBA and an NHL season, and it's one more than half of a Major League Baseball season. Yeah. Does anyone know what this is? Boy, I did my best, guys. It's supposed to say Arabic Language Appreciation Day, but I don't know if that's actually what it says. If someone can come in and read Arabic and look at that and be like, yeah, that's gobbledygook, then I will not be that surprised. But I try. I try. I try the best I can. Absolutely. Is that true? That's awesome. You know, my buddy Dylan, I got him a really nice pin for Christmas one year. And I don't know if you knew this, but when it comes to really nice pens, they actually change depending on how you write with them. And so they get used to your writing. And so he was learning Arabic at that time, and he had to decide if he was going to write with his pen in English or if he was going to write with his pen in Arabic, because if you changed it, you would ruin the pen. Because the pen would be so used to going left to right, if you're writing in English, or right to left if you're writing in Arabic, that if you changed it, it would get destroyed. Yes, Gracie.
I would like to share some of my very interesting nursery rhymes that I came up with.
Oh, hold on. We're going to get there. We're going to get there.
Okay.
It's all in the cards. There's stuff that we need to accomplish, and we're going to use those nursery rhymes. Let's see here. What is our first essential question? I'd love to get that from Max.
How can I graph
Awesome. How can I graph situations in real time? Oops. By the way, Jeopardy this week, holiday movies through the MPAA. Adam Sandler plays Davy Stone in this animated movie, inspired by a line in his The Hanukkah song, rated PG-13. Do you know what that's called?
I'm not sure, but is it? No, I don't know.
The song is called Eight Crazy Nights. Eight Crazy Nights. And then traditional holiday foods, eggnog is the correct answer. Eggnog. Guys, I heard, and I don't know if it's true, I heard that if you mix eggnog and orange Fanta,
What? What?
it's really good.
Okay,
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. How many of you, if you had the same, how many of you had the same reaction I did, which is gross? Maybe. Yeah, that's how I felt about it. I was like, maybe that's awesome. We definitely have some eggnog at home, and I might pick up some orange Fanta on the way home just to see. I gotta know. How many of us are like, I think I'm gonna try that? Yeah, yeah. Yes, go ahead, Addie.
so,
Can't hear Addie, guys.
when my mom first told me,
Let's hear, guys. Let's hear.
when my mom first told me about a cream cheese and cucumber sandwich,
Oh,
I thought that was going to be the most disgusting
oh,
thing ever. Now
oh.
I have one packed in
They're
my
lovely.
fridge.
They are lovely. Absolutely.
They're amazing.
They're lovely. I remember I always thought those were called funeral sandwiches because that's what they served at my grandfather's funeral. And I remember being like so sad and then eating the sandwiches and being like, these are really good sandwiches though. Hey, let's see here. Yeah, guys, every funeral needs really good food, right? Absolutely. Anyway, moving right along. Got a pencil? Today I wanted to talk to you about function behaviors. Function behaviors. Function behavior. So we called on Max. We called on Max to read our essential question there. So Max, what was the fairy tale that you wrote down?
I wrote Jack and Jill right up the hill.
Yes. So guys, say it with me. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. Now, guys, I want you to imagine that we were watching that occur, and it was our job to keep track of Jack and Jill's height over time. Everybody draw a coordinate plane in quadrant 1 only. Now, guys, remember the x-axis represents our independent variable and the y-axis represents our dependent variable. So should the x-axis be time or height? The x-axis should be time. And then the y-axis should be height. Now, the first part of the story. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. So what is happening? I'll tell you what. We're going to do Jack first. Guys. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. What is happening to their height as that happens? It's increasing, yeah. So we would expect it to go up at a constant rate. But then Jack fell down and broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after. So what happens to Jack's height there? Yeah, it drops, and then he stays there. Because I learned, guys, that apparently in the fantasy, he wasn't wearing a hat in that nursery rhyme. Like the crown is not your hat. The crown is the very tip top of your head. So like you could imagine me sitting there washing the dishes and Jill comes in being like, "Oh, Mr. Petersen, it's terrible. Jack fell down and broke his crown." And I'm like, "Oh, what, that stupid hat he's always wearing?" And she's like, "He broke his crown. And I'm like, "It's a fine, I'll abandon the dishes and I'll go investigate. Fine, I'll go see his stupid hat." And then I walk over there and his skull is caved in and I'm like, "Whoa." Wow, I feel bad right now. Now, when I say teach, I want you to say, okay, talk to your partners. If we graphed Jill on this same coordinate plane, how would her graph look different? Teach.
No, Jack fell down. No, Jack didn't fall down. Jill pushed him.
Okay.
Yes. That's why I said when he drew.
All right. Can I get you guys back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? I gotta say, neither of these graphs make Jill look very good. Like, I'm over here looking at what Claire's got. Claire, what color do you want to use for Jill? Okay, so I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. I want you to show me how you graphed what Jill did on hers. How many of us made a graph, well, like that? She got to the bottom and was like, whoop. All right, perfect. How many of us did a graph something like Claire here? How many of us did something like Claire here? Now, guys, neither way, one that I've seen, really make Jill look very good. Can someone tell me a little bit of why, if you saw this happen, you'd be like, Jill, what gives? Yeah, Aria.
She pushed him.
Actually, I was going to say, she didn't just sit there. In this graph, she didn't just sit there. What did she do, Ellie? Yeah, she's walking up, and Jill's like, "Oh!" And she's like, "Ha!" Oh! The other one I see sometimes, I didn't see it here today, but I'm going to do it in orange. And this is also a bad look. Is this one. Can somebody tell me what's happening in that version? What's happening in that version, Moses? Yeah, this is, the orange one's the one where he got pushed, right? The orange one's the one where it's like, Jack's like, time to get some water, and Jill's like, where's my chance? And Jack's like, ah! And he crashes, and he like cracks his skull open, and then, and Jill's like, I need to make this look like an accident. And then she's standing there watching it, and she's like, well, here goes. And then she jumps over herself. Now, okay, here we go. Let's see here, guys. I would love another nursery rhyme here. Let's see if we can get one from Ellie R. Give me a nursery rhyme. Let's do it. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. So, surprise, surprise. We're going to make this time, and this is going to be height. We're going to keep track again. You know what you are? You guys are you guys are the like the tabloid news of fairyland, where you just watch horrible things happen and then write about it. So imagine you're watching Humpty Dumpty do his thing, which, by the way, I don't know if you ever noticed, guys, in Humpty Dumpty, they never tell you he's an egg. Exactly. He could very well be a person who is shattered to pieces. So when I say teach, I want you to say, okay, graph Humpty's height over time if you watched that nursery rhyme take place. Give it a shot, and here we go. Humpty, watch out! Teach! Humpty, watch out! Okay. Yeah, sorry. That's pretty good. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. It was a pretty rough fall, yeah. Actually, it was a great fall. It was just a bad landing. Yeah. I think he starts in the story. He's on the wall. He's on the wall at the beginning. All right. Can I get you back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Shh. Avi, will you please graph what happened to Humpty Dumpty over time here? Let's see here. So Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Good. So he started off constant. Wow. that that is actually. I feel like that's actually what would happen if Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Someone snuck up behind Humpty, picked him up, but didn't like move him up or down at all. Stepped a couple inches forward and just went, and shoved him down as fast as they could. Yeah, I would say it would be something like that. The only thing I might change is I might make that like the only thing I might change is I might make it so that it was a little bit of a slower, like more gradual kind of thing. I don't I don't know. Every time I've dropped an egg, it never bounces. Never bounces. Okay. How many of us got something like that? Okay. I'll be right with you, Grace. Let's see if we can get through this next one here. Hold on. Go ahead. Quick. Okay, so I wrote my own alternate version of Humpty Dumpty. Here it goes. Humpty Dumpty sat in a wall. That wasn't too Bo Peep pushed him. And all the king's horses and all the king's men had scrambled eggs. There you go. Okay, guys. We're going to do Humpty Dumpty again, but this time we're keeping track of time and speed. So I want you to think about Humpty Dumpty's speed as he sits on the wall, and then as he falls, and then after he lands. Think about what that might look like and see how many subtleties you can put in there, okay? See what you guys can do and teach. Perfect. All done? Hooray. Do you mind taking this to the Lost and Found? The Lost and Found? Thank you so much. And then that's everything. And there's no name on that? Yeah. Then away it goes. Okay. Can I get you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? All right. Let's do this in like this orangish color. Carol, will you please graph what you think happened to Humpty Dumpty's height as you're watching him? Thank you. Let's see what happened here. Speed, excuse me, speed. So yeah, his speed started at 0. He's just sitting. Then it's a quick, yeah, I agree. And then what happened afterwards, though? What happened to his speed after? Yeah, there you go. How many of us had something that looked a little bit like that? Good. You, Bradley, you have something you want to say about it? Let's say if it's a great fall, let's say it does. Like what? I'm curious if that was true. If Humpty Dumpty really reached terminal velocity before he hit, would you like to graph what that would look like? Because that would do something. Because terminal velocity is the fastest that something can fall, and if he hits that, there you go. Don't forget the end. There you go. Yeah, it would look something like that, right? Oh yeah, and they didn't put them back together. So my favorite though, I had a student one time. And here's what she did. She made it look like this. She was like, okay, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, so it starts at 0. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall, which again is a gradual increase. You know, I love the idea of him hitting terminal velocity. And then he hits the ground and his speed goes down pretty quickly, like this. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put him back together again. So they load him into a cart, take him to the cemetery, and there he is forever. Yes. That was with you guys, wasn't it, Vivian? Wasn't it you guys who came up with the cemetery one? Yeah, I thought so. Okay, let's see here. Avi, did you have a nursery rhyme for us? Shh, guys, I can't hear Avi. Jack and the Beanstalk. I like it. I like it. Okay. I like it. So, can I get you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? So Jack and the Beanstalk goes, there's this giant that lives in the clouds, and then Jack plants a beanstalk and he climbs up to the clouds and he kills the giant by pushing him off, right?
He trades his cow for
Yeah, there's that too, for sure. So you know what? We could do dumb decisions over time, which, by the way, would increase over time for Jack. But instead, I want you to do 2 things. I've never done this one before. I'm rather excited. Let's see what it looks like. This is new. I've never had this one before. Guys, when I say teach, I want you to say, okay, I want you to make 2 graphs. The first one represents Jack's height over time. And then matching it and making sure that it matches the story of Jack, I want the giant's height over time. So remember, Jack starts on the ground and then he climbs up the beanstalk and he kills the giant who then falls to the ground. What would that look like? What would that look like on 2 graphs? One for the giant, one for Jack. Give it a try, and here we go. Jack, don't do it. Teach.
Jack, don't do it.
Zaddy. I don't know. Maybe he you tell me. Does he live there? Hmm? I don't know. It's up to you.
He stays up here.
So if that's, I love that. The ascent is slow, and then the descent is fast because he kind of slides down. What would the giants? Oh, there you go. Yeah. There's the giant. There you go. That's like he rode the giant down. I like that. He's like jumped on him. He's like, woo! I don't know. Does he? Or does he live there? Show me on your graph. You decide. Ooh. What are the lumps about? I like that.
Like when they're fighting, I guess.
I got you. I like that. I like that. Okay. Can I get you guys back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Holland, can you please graph Jack's height over time? What does Jack's height look like over time? So he starts at the bottom and he slowly climbs up because that would be a difficult climb. How many of you guys like to go climbing? Climbing a beanpole straight up would be pretty difficult, right? So there he goes, and now he's in Cloudland. Oh, I like that. He's like jumping up and down and moving around, and then he slowly climbs down the beanstalk. Okay, I like it. Now let's see here. Oh, he's dancing. I like it. Very good. Now, just a second. In a different color, show me what the giant was doing. What is the giant's height over time? Yeah, and I love that you matched the same height, right? He's just living his best giant life. Looks like he's taking a nap or something. And then there's the fight. Yep, exactly. Beautiful. Okay. Awesome. Now, guys, there is one little subtlety I would like to change about Holland's graph. When I say teach, and I want you to say okay, can you guys talk to each other about what do you think is the one little thing I would like to change about Holland's graph to make it match the story a little better? Like, if you look at this story, something kind of weird happened in it, right? Something kind of weird happened in it. So talk to each other. What do you think I would like to change? Teach! Okay. Okay. I love it. Okay. Can I get you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Holland, do you know what it is I would like to change? I don't know. I don't think so. There's something else going on here. What do you think, Arden? Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know. Maybe I'll tell you. It's not because there's something wrong with the story. It's just that this graph is telling me that something kind of unusual occurs. Stephen, what is it? Do you see that? Jack is down. He is here. He's like about an eighth of the way down the beanstalk before the giant falls. Jack in this story is super messed up. He like basically he tied a rope to the dead giant's ankle, climbed an eighth of the way down so he can look at the villagers and be like, "Hey guys, you want to see something cool?" And they're like, "I guess." And he tugs the rope. Ugh! And then this dead giant rolls off a cloud and starts falling down and then crashes. And it's just like, wasn't that neat? And it's like, you jerk! I got my kids out to see that. So, Holland, when do you think would be the appropriate time for the giant to fall instead? Yeah, there it is. That's what I would like to see. How many of us agree that that is going to make a little bit more sense? He falls right after the fight, and then Jack's like, cool. And then the only thing I might change is that, I mean, I'm assuming Jack robbed the giant. So he stays on Cloudland for a minute. Okay, can I get you in 5, 4, 3, thank you so much, 2, 1. Okay, Carol, what was the fairy tale you know about? Ah, the itsy bitsy spider. Let's do it, guys. The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Out came the sun and dried up all the rain. And the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again. So, you can probably see where this is going. Okay, voices, voices. Hey, I'm glad this is fun, but let's make sure we can focus on the work as well. So we're going to do 2 graphs, guys. The first one's going to be height and time. The second one is going to be speed and time. So when I say teach, I want you to say, okay, talk to your partners. What does the spider's height do over time? And what does the spider's speed do over time? Give it a shot, and here we go. I don't know what's up that spout anyway. Teach! Hi, Addie. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Well, Jack's certainly a guy who might be making a couple enemies. Yes, Max.
Wait, so since I never specified if Humpty Dumpty wasn't egg, so what if the giant was the egg and Jack was the person who pushed the ball?
A good question. That was the wall.
Yeah, the water spout's kind of steep.
Yes, I love this. That's good.
Like that.
Yeah. Okay. Can I get you guys back up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? James, you want to do the height or the speed of the itsy bitsy spider? Speed. So that's the bottom one I've got here. Show me the speed of the. Sorry, I have a different nursery rhyme in my head. My wires keep getting crossed. Of the spider. There we go. No, it's true. Yeah, there you go. I love that. His speed is constant, and then fast he washes out. And then he decreases because he's gone. Yeah, there you go. And then happens again. I love that. Yeah, absolutely love that. I love that. Excellent. Very good, James. And let's see here. Arden, what would you like? Oh, well, you're out of options. I would like you to do the height of the spider over time. There he goes. Awesome. I do like that it took less time to get washed out because do you imagine it would take longer for the spider to make it to the top or for it to get washed down? Yeah, there you go. Okay, something like that. I like that. Very good. Awesome. Appreciate that. How many of us made some graphs that looked a little bit like that? I think my favorite is Carol's. Carol's has like this spider in like an infinite loop where like the spider, it's like this. It is so sad. It is so sad. That's what we call a periodic function because the spider just does the same thing over and over again. Okay, let's see here. James, what was one of your nursery rhymes? Or are we out? Do you have any? Do you have a new one? James. Oh, do you know the Muffin Man? I don't know. I'm not actually sure. I can think of a. What? Knowledge and time? I don't know. Maybe you could graph my annoyance over time. That's just. That would just be like. Honestly, if it was annoyance over time, it would just be 0, and then, oh, wait, you're singing the Muffin Man, and then it's constant until you stop, and then it probably takes a minute to, like, really boil back down. But let's see. Arden, what have we got? What do you got for us? Little Bo Peep, she lost her sheep, and she doesn't know where to find them. I don't. I actually. I don't think I know that one well enough. I don't think I know that one well enough. Let's see here. Bradley, what do you got for me? Bart. Oh. Oh. We could do porridge eaten over time, and it's just forever going up. That's if I could remember that verbatim, I would be like, let's do it. But I absolutely love Barney's Bad Dad, 100%. That is very funny. Let's see here. What do you got for us, Jane? Guys, I want to hear Jane. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is. Oh, I've got a good one. Okay, here we go. Ready? London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down. My fair lady, build it up with iron and wood. Iron and wood, iron and wood. Build it up with iron and wood. My fair lady. And then you have to build it up with gold and pearls, silver and gold. Okay, so here we go. This is time, and this is municipal cost. Or dollars, yeah. Go ahead, guys. How much is it costing to deal with this bridge problem over time? Teach! We're in the last 10 minutes. We're just about out of here. Hi. Oh, indeed, yes. Can I get you guys up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? I actually like this a lot because if you think about it, I mean, at first, there's not really any municipal cost, and then it falls down. And then there's a small amount of cost in trying to, like, clean up, and then you actually, like, build it up. And then you have this, and then you have to build it up, and then you have this. I actually think it might be interesting, though, to think about this. Like, when you install money on doing that, guys, do you spend a little bit at a time, or do you just spend a whole bunch all at once? Like, when we're talking about municipal projects, guys, when like Congress approves funds for things, do they approve every little bit, every little time, or do they just give them a big pot of money? Jeez. Yeah. So I actually think it might even look like this. It's like constant, and then suddenly it's up here, and then suddenly it's up here, and then suddenly it's up here. It's like it's happening in steps. I think I like that the best. That like the amount that you're spending is happening in steps like that. Okay, there's one more I would like to do with you. Say it along if you catch on. Hickory dickory dock, the mouse ran up the clock. The clock struck one, the clock ran down, the mouse ran down, hickory dickory dock. So this is time. And this is, we're going to do 2 as well. We're going to do a time and a height. But here's why I really want to talk about this, is that right in the middle, I want you to put 1 o'clock. I want you to put down, before you put your graph down, I want you to put 1 o'clock smack dab in the middle there. I want you to do this once for height and once for speed, and I want 1 o'clock there, okay? I want 1 o'clock there. Give it a shot, and here we go. Hickory dickory teach. Okay. Can I get you guys up here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Voices, please. Eliana, will you graph this mouse's height over time? There you go. I like it. So there's one thing about this that like I'm not sure matches the story the way that I understand it. But does someone notice like what's going on in this story that might be not quite? I don't know. Maybe it does. Maybe I'm misunderstanding the story. What do you think, Ellie? Yeah, so in this one, it like he was running to the clock, and as soon as he got to the top, it struck one, and he's like, oh, okay. And then he goes back down, right? So how do you think I might change that so that it feels a little bit more like the mouse ran up the clock, hung out at the top, and then went down after 1 o'clock? What would you change here? Show me, show it. Let's see what you got. So what would that look like if he ran to the top, hung out, and then the clock struck one, and he ran down? There you go. I like that because the clock strikes one, and then he's like, oh, there he goes, and then down he run. I like that very much. Okay, let's see here. Sophie, what did you do for speed? What did you do for speed? Hello? There we go. Show me what you did for speed. Mm-hmm. Let's see. So I think so I love it, but I'll tell you, this tells kind of a funny story. This tells kind of a funny story. Is there something about this story that you think is kind of unusual? Something about the story, Avi, that you think is kind of unusual? Yeah. So this mouse here, Sophie, he's walking, and then he's walking a little faster. Then he's kind of jogging. He's gradually increasing his speed the entire way up the clock. But do you think that's what he did? What do you think he did? Yeah. So he sped up to run, and then it was constant. I agree. Uh-huh. And then if he gets to the top, what does he do? Oh, that's true. But remember, he gets to the top and sits, and then it's 1 o'clock. There you go. So I'm going to change this a little bit. Here's kind of what I'm thinking. Because again, this story is this actually tells the exact same story that Eliana told at first, where he runs up the clock, and as soon as he gets to the top, it is time to run down, and he runs down, but at a constant speed, and then he slows down there. In my mind, this mouse might be doing something a little bit more like this. The speed increases quickly and then stays constant. And then when he gets to the top, he stops, right? That's kind of what I think of in the story. And then when 1 o'clock rolls around, he can go a little bit faster because it's downhill, and then he gets to the ground and he stops again. Does that make sense, Sophie? It's like there's these two parts where he runs, and then he stops, and then he runs, and then he stops. That's actually all the time we have, guys. The bell's going to ring here in about 50 seconds. Thank you for your time, guys. Tomorrow, we're going to do an activity that counts as a skill check that's basically this stuff. So it'll be the easiest skill check you ever took. Back me up, Vivian. This is the easiest skill check I'll ever take. Yeah. And it's fun. It's super fun. I'm sad you won't be here for it. Darn it. All right, go ahead, guys. Pack it up, and we'll call that a day. Thank you so much. All right.